All right, let's do this. It's Friday, February 6th, 2026. So, I was looking for a bounce today, a bounce to short, and we opened up and we just kept going straight up across the entire day, right up to first resistance of a 10 MA. I guess you could argue 50 days first resistance, but well, typically in a downward trend, 10 MA is resistance, kind of like here, right? Breakdown, and then you tag the 10 MA on and then you resume down again. But anyway, that's a hell of a candle. It's even stronger than, well, distinctly stronger than the Monday candle. A teeny bit spiky, like the Monday candle. But look, from a cyclical perspective, now ticking back up, either the bears appear, right? Or this is just going to keep going up in the March. So clearly, either this, either either we get back under the 50-day sometime next week, and we take out that low, 67.80, and then fill this gap. Not necessarily next week, but we need to negate this. Otherwise, if we go above 7,002, then it's decisive, right? And clearly off we go. And everything that's occurred in the last 6 days of, the last 6 days of 8 down and 2 days up is negated. So, be an interesting week next week. And we do have a little gap to fill from this morning. So we could come down. We could just come down next week and tag the gap and then resume upwards. That's another scenario, which would be acceptable to me because I need to get out of a position. Anyway, VIX, of course, was ground down today. I mean, typically the VIX would be ground down into the weekend. So it's not surprising to see the VIX down, but you can see we're even below Thursday close. Again, on the flip side, the daily candle's a little teeny bit spiky from the 10 MA. But for the bears, for the equity bears, that's a terrible way to end the week. Let's jump to the individual stocks, and just flash through a few of those quickly. Just a moment. So, Apple, a little bit laggy to the main market at 0.8. Archer Aviation up 12%. Wow. Look at that. I mean, you could argue it's just a one-day wonder. You could also argue all of this is a giant bear flag, right? And it's so big, you think, well, wave down there, maybe it's anyway, it's a mess. Kaneko Eagle, this is a mess. I mean, look, up 3.8%, but what is this? You could draw a bearish pennant on there. We're above the 50-day, but this is not bullish. If you're super bullish, the miners, well, that's a problem in the short term. American Eagle, what is that? It's a black candle. Actually, by a penny. First Majestic Silver up 8% with the sector. But again, this isn't great. You really need to be bullish this one. You need to see this above 24. Even then you have a gap that goes to above the 25. Difficult to see that. It really is. So AMD 3 days down and a bounce. So ironically, we're not even above where we were on before earnings. We do have an upside gap, so you can even see the 10 MA's got to cross under the 50-day on either Monday or Tuesday. So this is not good, right? Midterm double top, breaks down, tags red gap, we get a bounce today, but if you're bearish, you want to see this under the 200-day, preferably next week. I admit that won't be easy because that's another 10% down. But we also, the volatility is there. We're up 8% today. Amazon, look at it. And this is why I talk about price thresholds. Look at that. I think we can see one there as well. Reversal candle there. I don't know if we went. But yeah, that's a reversal candle, leans bullish for Monday. Maybe we'll come up to the 200-day and then roll over again. But that's a bullish candle for Monday. Barrick Mining up 2.7%. That's not great, right? That's actually a close under the 50-day. It's the second day under. This is one of the weaker gold miners right now. Earnings were good, and I still think we have a chance at coming down to the 36s. I mean, that is, it's not a great Friday close. Blowing up with the main market. I'm going to skip through some of these because I don't have all day. Bitcoin catching a big bounce of 17% because Bitcoin was up 12%. Caterpillar, new historic high, impressive. Kamiko up 4%. Again, it's not, it's it's only up a little bit relative to the big down wave here. Earnings are due next Friday. Carnival, 8%, new cycle high. Okay, I'm starting and stopping because I'm having to take a minor break. Coinbase, 13%. Is that it? I mean, look, you can even argue we have basically we've tested the April low. Incredible. Decker's about 4%. You can argue if you're bullish, this is a bull flag, and next natural target be a 125 within what? Probably next week for $10 up. Disney up 3.5%. I will say structure is a bear flag. Ford actually has earnings next week. Not a great gain today, only 0.5%. But it is midterm bullish. Freeport up 2.5%. Still not a great week. Google's down 2.5%. Yesterday's hollow red reversal candle failed to play out. It did not turn positive at all today. So not great. Home Depot up 0.7, a bit laggy to the main market. Intel up almost 5%. I mean, this gap's largely filled now. JOBY, solid gains of 11%. You could argue it's got to maybe tag teal gap and then maybe get stuck. I mean, again, I like it for the long term. $1 billion capital raise was why it was down last week. Solid gains for JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs, 4% each. KKR bouncing again. We had a ugly candle yesterday, and look, it's a strong day, but look at this. There is a problem in private equity right now, as being reflected in KKR, Blackstone, and Blue Owl Capital. That might be a new historic high for Kinder Morgan. Cree regional banks doing fine. The Meta platform's struggling still. MP Materials up 8%. Microsoft, orange gap was filled yesterday, bouncing with the main market today. Micron high with the main market. Netflix, I mean, up 1.5%, right? But look, what is that? That's it's a baby bear flag there. I mean, unless this is real, I mean, really, you need to go, if you want to have some confidence, we need to go above the 50 day because this is just horrible, right? Look at this. I mean, at some point, it's got a floor. Natural target remains $70. I mean, week over week, it's still going down. Nike up 2%. Nvidia, strong day up 8%. If you're an equity bear, you need to see this go under the 200 day. Not necessarily next week, but certainly within it needs to break under to get, if we have any chance of getting the 150. Solid day for ONDS, 14%. Note how it floored yesterday key price threshold. It's a pretty strong candle, bodes bullish for Monday. And American silver at 5%, just holding the 50 day. Yeah, Palantir up 4.5%. Today's candle is it's not black. It's close, but again, look, in the scheme of things, it's been a bad week. PayPal up 1.3%, but it's been a terrible week for PayPal. Look, PayPal was 52, went down to 38. Um, it's terrible. QuantumScape have earnings next week. Red Cat solid gains of 11%. Transocean higher 9%. Rocket Lab 9. SMR 18%. Again, 17s is still cheap. You got to wonder, is that a key low relative to that? And then are we going to break above? Because you can see it keeps stalling around the 50 day. Target 4%. Green gap basically filled. Tesla 3.5%. Note the 200 day. Again, if you're bearish, you need to see this break the 200 day within the next week or two. Take two. 1%, but that's a bad day. Look at that. It broke it. It broke a lower low, bearish. It settled with a black candle. That's bearish. That's terrible. Look at the last black candle, right? The next day, smashed for 3 days. This is not good. This is a major problem now. United Airlines, 9%. It's one reason why the transports was up almost 2% today. Nothing bearish there, right? That's a hell of a candle. That's the best. That's the best upside we've seen. Even better than that. But yeah, that candle there for July, that gap. Yeah, it's a strong upside. Don't care about that. United Health. So orange gap. We're trying to build a floor from there. UPS up 0.7% to a new cycle high. Yesterday had a reversal candle that played out. We had a good run to 117. Wow. I was right about this one. Sold too early. I made a gain, but sold too early again. Exxon, new historic high. Very impressive. And look at this. 149 from 118. Straight up. Look at how the 10MA is holding. Impressive. And that's do I want to cover gold and silver? I guess Bitcoin, brief look. Bitcoin's 71,000 as of 10:53 p.m. We'll look at gold, but via GLD because stock charts has issues until after midnight with the gold and silver charts. We'll just cover GLD. I mean, look, according to this, gold was up $135, 3%. We're still stuck under the 10 MA, and of course there's overhead gap resistance here. And you could argue this is a bearish pattern. I will note, gold is distinctly stronger than silver. We are still comfortably above the 50-day, which again, note that held across November and October, which was a big bullish pennant. So if we're going to get a bullish pennant, gold needs to hold the 50-day. I will note that silver, on a close-up chart, silver settled fractionally above the 50-day, but first day did settle below. And that was after two black candles, which played out on Thursday. I mean, that's a big, doesn't look like much on this chart, but that's 16% down on Thursday. So, 5% today, but it lost 16% on Thursday. 5% rebound today. It's not great. And again, this looks far different than this. This was a washout, but we held the 50-day repeatedly. And here we have not. We broke it, which is one reason I didn't go long silver yesterday. I mean, I could have, but if I did, I would have sold again this afternoon. There's no way I would have held into the weekend. My concern is this. We're going to come down to 50, which would backtest the October high. Of course, 50 is $20 down, which is about, well, 30%, right? Yeah. Anyway, I'm tired. It's been a long week. We'll end it there. I'm gonna try and do some stuff for the weekend, but yeah, we'll end it. We'll end it there. So I wish you a good Friday evening, and have a good weekend. Be good.